Okay, next item of business is our course schedule. And just for simplicity's sake, I generally break up the class into 3 segments. So the first 45 minutes is usually a lecture, and that's the time where I really kind of introduce you to a different aspect of addiction. We'll be talking about things from treatment modalities to the addictive personality. We'll talk about codependency, addiction, and comorbidity, meaning other addictions that go along with it, or other mental illness. We'll talk about teens, non-substance addictions, just a lot of the clinical issues of addiction we'll go over during that first 45 minutes of class. Then we'll take a break, and then from 4 to 5, we will discuss in detail a different substance. I do think it's important as you're going into this field that you understand what the different drugs of abuse are, and that you understand what the side effects of each of those are, how addictive each one is, so that you have a good understanding when a client comes into you and says, okay, I'm using crystal meth. You know what crystal meth is. You understand what kind of a drug that is. You understand what that does to a person, and also so that you can understand the different medical modalities that can treat different drugs, because different types of drugs respond differently to different medications. Like heroin has a medication that people can use that can help them taper down, whereas crystal meth does not have any medication that helps. The SSRIs can be useful with some and not with others. So we'll be talking in detail about each of the substances. So each night we'll kind of cover a different drug, or one night will be alcohol, one night will be prescription drugs, so that you kind of have a clear understanding of what your clients are dealing with. And then during the last hour of the class, we will do a case study, and that case study will involve, generally speaking, watching an episode of Intervention. If you've not seen that show, it's a great show. If you've seen it, you might be seeing it again. But what we'll be doing is, the Intervention episode we watch will be tied to the drug that we're talking about that evening. So if we had a lecture on heroin, we'll be watching an individual who's addicted to heroin to give you a better kind of life view of what that looks like for a person. And after we watch it, as you're watching it, I'm asking you to take notes. And after we watch it, we'll do a treatment plan for that person, where we're talking about their family of origin issues, talking about mental health issues, and then we're going to talk about the treatment modalities that would be most appropriate for that particular client. So hopefully that should be a fun part of this class for you, but also just a great way for you to kind of visualize what this looks like, what this addiction does to a person in an everyday life. Because there's only so much that I can really teach you through a lecture, because addiction is such an all-encompassing thing for people. So that's the class in a nutshell. That's how we break down the 3 hours of class, and you can read through your course schedule to get kind of the specifics for each class and what we'll be talking about. I will be trying to have some guest lecturers come in for you guys, because I do think that's really valuable. Like I said, BJ will be here, and then as the semester goes through, I'll have some other people coming in and sharing from their own experience. If you look at the syllabus, you can kind of get the dates for when your exams are. It's pretty self-explanatory. I've added a selected bibliography at the end, so that if this is of interest to you guys, you can continue reading. You know, we're in an interesting time right now with addiction, because I think the public is really being more and more informed. Great shows like Intervention, and even Celebrity Rehab, VH1, who knew? That is a really informative show that I would also recommend that you watch if this is of interest to you. You can learn a lot about addiction treatment and what residential care looks like from watching that show. And then if you look through your syllabus, I've got really an explanation for the papers, for both your reaction paper to the meeting and for your final exam. It's all right there in your syllabus, so there's no mystery. You are more than welcome to read through it. You're more than welcome to, have a look at your final exam and be thinking that through for the rest of the semester. There's no surprises there. Hopefully I've answered any questions that you guys have. Just kind of some of the nuts and bolts. The best way to reach me is usually by email, because I'm a mom of 3 and oftentimes not always readily available by the phone, but I'm often responding to emails late at night when the kids are down. So feel free to email me. That's on your syllabus. You are more than welcome to call me, but I would just recommend, if you really need to reach me, trying to grab me the day before class instead of the morning of. But I am here and available to you guys to answer any questions that you might have, and feel free to shoot me an email even this week if you have any questions about the syllabus or any concerns about the class in general. So I am looking forward to being with you guys next week, and hopefully this will be a great class for you. See you soon.